Thanks to Sam for putting this together. I appreciate it. My name is Travis Niekamp. I coach our inside linebackers. I run our defense here at Illinois State. I grew up in central Wisconsin. I'm from Stevens Point originally. I recruit the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin's been very good to us over the years here at Illinois State. So on behalf of our staff, thank you very much. And I know I only have roughly 15 minutes, so I'm going to jump right into sharing the screen stuff. And hopefully somebody give me a little confirmation that you guys got my screen. Can you guys see that?
Yep, we got you, Coach.
All right. So what we're going to talk about, and I apologize about not sending this in. I kind of dropped the ball on it. Was just basically talk about our run fits, how we train our guys on our run fits. And we should be able to get it done in 15 minutes. And it should make a lot of sense if I do a good job. So as we going into this, at the end of this, I'll throw out my email address. Some guys I've obviously met throughout the course of recruiting. Some guys I have not. If I haven't, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, obviously recruiting and football in general is about relationships, not just between players and coaches, but coaches and coaches. And if there's anything I can do or here at Illinois State we can do to help you, let me know. But the first thing that we kind of talk about with our guys real quickly here, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to talk pretty quick just so I make sure I get my time done is basically we talk to our guys about keys to success, right? We want to make sure that we understand that to be successful, you got to have a plan. And for us, our number one part of that is to know and understand the call, right? And that makes perfect sense to us as coaches, but we've all been there where young men have no idea what the call was, right? Coach, I didn't know what the call was. How come you didn't do this? Coach, I didn't know what the call was. So if you don't know the call or understand the call, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to be successful. And we give this to all of our defensive players. This is kind of our creed and something we expect our guys to really understand. So number one is understanding the call. Number two is being able to recognize a formation. And we don't get overly technical. Offenses have helped us out over the years. There used to be, when I started playing the game, there used to be a lot of two-back and wings. And you guys at the high school level still have to deal with a lot of multiple offenses. We're kind of settling into a lot of one-back stuff. So to us, our world's real simple. It gets kind of 2x2, 3x1 is kind of how we approach it and how we train it with our guys. So it gets a little bit easier. But understanding the formation is really, really important. The other phase of that formation is one of the things I do with my guys, and I'm just giving you guys ideas as we train and spend time, and especially now we have a little bit more time maybe to reach out to our guys on these types of platforms is I have a formation, basically a teaching formation as far as just different thought processes, right? Teaching formations 101, wide splits, tight splits, what you can expect, and things that we can think about all pre-snap, right? And that's what the first three things are all about. Know and understand the call, recognize the formation, and then basically your alignment, right? Those are all pre-snap thought processes that are very important. Key run and pass, obviously that's going to be your key. At Illinois State, we key the running back, and then we'll feel our guards as under keys as we kind of progress through that. And then obviously we have a responsibility for you to do, which is your execution. And then obviously the last thing is finish, and that's effort. And I heard something the other day I liked it really a lot. Rocky Long had mentioned this. I saw him speak at clinic. The number one fundamental on defense is effort. And I've never heard anybody say that. I've heard everybody talk about effort, but I thought that was pretty damn awesome. So that's going to be something I steal. And obviously all the stuff that I'm going to show you is stuff that we steal. But I love that the number one fundamental in defense is effort. Philosophically, obviously I'm going to have to change this because we're going to put effort on top. But from a philosophy standpoint, as a defense coordinator, I got 4 fantastic guys that help us. I coach our inside linebackers. We have a defensive line coach that coaches our 3 down guys. We're a 3-4 defensive football team. We have a coach that coaches the outside linebackers, and we have 2 coaches that coach the safeties and corners. But these are 3 things that we're going to stress every single day as a defense. I don't care what they do. I trust them. But what we're going to focus on is footwork, some kind of change of direction, which is going to be efficient movement. That's obviously really, really important. Any false step in pursuit, we did a study on this. So anytime you false step as a linebacker, as a defensive back, as a defensive lineman, any false step out of your stance, right, or in the process of moving to the football results in 2 yards of pursuit to the football, which is pretty substantial when you think about it. Obviously, that's going to make you slower. So we're always trying to find ways to be as efficient as we can. Block destruction is another part of what we try to train our guys on. As far as being able to get off blocks, and then obviously tackling is as big a priority as anything. And on all these phases, we might do them in shoulder pads. We might not do them in shoulder pads, but you guys catch my drift. It's something that we're going to continue to train. So what we're going to talk about is how we train our guys in our run fits. All right. And we've kind of really dumbed it down a little bit, and we've kind of broke it down. And this this is really regardless of whether you're a 3-4 team, a 4-2 team, a 4-3 team, an over, an under team. It doesn't really matter the way that we've kind of ruled this out. And this is really kind of stolen from a lot of NFL thought processes, how they've trained their guys. And obviously in the NFL, they could play 15 different fronts on 15 different snaps. Well, how do you train those guys all to play different run fits, right? Not everybody's going to be a Chris Spielman or a Ray Lewis or a Mike Singletary. You just have a vast knowledge of the defense. So what we've done is we basically trimmed it down to where if we're going to break the formation in half, wherever the flow is going to go, we consider that work, right? And we've tried to keep it as simple as we can. The linebacker to the work side, you go and you hit the football wherever it goes, right? We're going to keep it as simple as that. There is no gap. It's you go hit ball. All right, the guy who has all the work, the guy that has all the training in this is the guy who has no work, and that's the linebacker away from all the flow. So the backside linebacker on flow away, so flow's going this direction, we're going to work to what we consider the inside point, and that is basically the backside foot of the guard of the center. Excuse me. We want to be able to put our unit right over him, kind of splayed that thing. Now, what we're going to do with this backside linebacker, in essence, is we're going to play almost a two-gap concept with him. What do I mean by that? If we get him to this point, he can play the cutback easy. He can rock on back to it. And if the ball declares on the front side of the flow, we can gain him back over the top as an additional run fit hack. All right. And this is kind of how we do it. Again, I'm going to work fast through this. So we train it as simple as we can. We talk to our guys who has work, who has no work, right? And it doesn't matter what front we run, how we do it. It's basically how we rock and roll. Now, what I will do is initially, and I don't have as much drill film as what I wish I would have right now, but you can take these guards out of it, right? I put these guards in here for a different reason. The biggest thing is, again, we key the tailback. So the way we start this out on day one, if you come to our place and play as a freshman, what you'll see is the tailback, right? And that manages the tailback, and he's just going to give you different flow keys. And we do this every single day, damn near every single day of the week, especially in season. We'll continue to do this drill when we get in season. We'll be a lot more specific with the running back's footwork as far as what we're going to see that week. Depending on who our opponent is, right? Because everybody's got a little bit different power step. Everybody's got a little bit different counter step. Sometimes have different inside zone steps, etc. So we're going to do that, try and steal more reps for our guys to be able to see the tailback and understand what his footwork is going to look like. And with the footwork piece, right, I'm just throwing this out there to you guys too, as I'm kind of talking fast through this, is when we have cut-ups, when we meet on Tuesday, as a position, when we install the game plan, the first thing that I'm going to show my guys is here's what their inside zone path looks like, right? Whatever their top run concept are, here's their running back's footwork, and then we're going to see it in practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and again, just ways for them to kind of, again, steal just different mental reps. But at the end of the day, obviously, once he moves this way, this linebacker has what we would consider work. This guy is working no work, and he has the inside point. As I have work, I'm going to go show up and hit the football. Doesn't matter where it goes. I'm going to go hit the guy with the football. If there is no air, all right, if there is no air for whatever reason, it's cloudy, then I'm just going to hang high and I'm going to wait for the ball to declare. That makes sense, all right? So it's the work guy. It's real simple, right? I could teach my daughter, Brooke, who's 12, how to play the work linebacker, all right? On the backside of this, if I have no work, I'm going to work to the inside point. I'm going to hang high. I'm going to tempo the tailback. Pads are square, right? There's an opportunity for him to cut back. He cuts back, I cut back with it. He stays front side and declares, I can declare with it also. All right. So again, we're just going to work to the inside point. Now, number 4 does a bad job. Again, these aren't perfect. This is from my first spring there, but this is a good look there by 50. 4 should be just going and smoking the football. Doesn't even have to worry about the guard. Again, we take the guards out of it when we first install this as we progress through this. So again, all we're focusing on is the tailback's footwork, right? And as the kids get more and more comfortable, especially the younger guys, as you get more and more comfortable, you can expand your vision, and that's when we'll put the guards in. All right, but a similar concept, we'll go the other way with it. Again, same thing, right? As I got flow 2, I got work, hit ball. I'm working to the inside point. Again, I'm waiting for the ball to declare. I'm going to hang high. I don't want to work to the line of scrimmage, right? So what's the biggest coaching point on the inside point player? The no work linebackers. I'm going to work to the inside point. I'm going to hang high. I'm going to stay at 5 yards. That's where a typical alignment is. And I am not going to attack the line of scrimmage. I'm not going to block myself. So I'll hang high. Again, ball declares. I can declare with it. Ball cuts back. I can cut back with it. So the way we handle all of our stuff with our guys up front, regardless out of our 3-4, everybody wants to know, are you two gapping with stuff? No, we're two gapping with the no work linebacker without really telling them we're two gapping, if I'm making sense. As far as our 4-down stuff, when we jump into our 4-down, we're basically single gapping everything. We can mix the front, right? We can wreck the front. We can cancel gaps with the movement. None of that stuff matters because of what we teach our guys with our rules. So again, if I have flow to me, again, we're talking inside, I'm going to go hit the football. I'm going to work to the inside point because I got flow away. Obviously, when you get into shotgun sets, it becomes much more defined, right? Offenses are helping us out because when the running back's over there, I'm already pre-snap thought process and I have work. I'm going to play fast. I'm already thinking I'm going to work to the inside point. Now, this is going to be twofold with this, right? The inside point piece is also important because when we have a tailback on that same side, right, that's where the read zone, the RPO is probably going to come out of it. So we still want to hang high. And what we're hoping for, if we do get RPO out of it, we can still potentially shut down slant windows if we're doing a good job with hanging high, right? We haven't had a lot of opportunities where we can show that on tape. But in theory, we're going to put more congestion. We're going to make a tighter throw window for that quarterback. But again, I got work, hit ball, work to that inside point, get ready to use your hands. And this is what it'll look like. So if you watch 43 right here in this clip, obviously he's got flow to him. Just go show up and hit the football. We're not getting overly complicated, right? We're not coaching the football out of the kid. Go do what? Tackle the son of a gun with the football, right? Again, same thing here with number 50. We're not getting overly complicated with what we're doing. Right? Who are we fitting on? What are we doing? We're just going to go show up and hit the guy with the ball. All right. Here's another presentation. Now, again, here with number 39 out of this situation. Now, this is a 4-down front. We're also wrecking all the gaps up front. So there's really no place to go. But again, he's just going to show up and hit the guy with the football because he's got work, right? He's looking for air. He's going to attack the air. So now this is a good example of no work, right? So this is Ty DeForest. Ty DeForest is from Marshall, Wisconsin. He was a damn good linebacker for us. He was a second team all-conference player for us. But as you can see, Ty does a good job of kind of hanging high. And if you notice, right, ball declares, Ty can fit. Ball cuts back, Ty can cut back. And that's why we want to hang high with this. This is a pretty decent expression of it. He kind of steps up there a little bit late, but you guys get a good feel for how that's going to be. Obviously not a great tackle, but again, I've never seen an ugly tackle. I've just seen guys get tackled. Here's another expression of it. So again, I'm going to have no work. So I'm going to hang high, right? So as the ball is snapped, I'm going to hang high. I'm not going to block myself. Again, if the quarterback were to keep this football, we can gain him back. We can be +2 on the quarterback. If he gives the football, I'm still hanging high. I got time. Now I can go show up and hit the football because it declares on the front side. So again, we're essentially 2-gapping with the no-work linebacker. All right, we're trying to keep things as easy as we possibly can. And we're trying to be as efficient with our time, with what we're teaching, and give these guys confidence. So again, we got 2 backs in the backfield. So on the snap of the football, all right, we're going to have a split flow look, right? And this is probably the toughest look we can get. But flow becomes this way. I should be screaming through the line of scrimmage. I should be working to the inside point. And this is a really good look at what it should look like, all right? So if we're attacking the line of scrimmage, that's fine. As we attack the line of scrimmage, we're drawing blocks off. We're work to the inside point. Ball cuts back. I can cut back with it. I'm in really good shape. Again, being thick and square is huge coaching points for us with these guys. I think that's really important. Here's another good look, and this is a 4-down look, all right? So there's an A gap and a B gap that are open. And for years, I coached in a 4-3 defense, 4-2 defense, and everything was about the A gap, the B gap, the A gap, the B gap, right? Well, we've gotten out of that world. Same thing, right? I got a shotgun set. I'm thinking flow. I got running back away. I'm thinking I got work. So Ty, in this situation, isn't going to run through the B. He's going to go attack the A gap, which is fine because on the backside backer here is going to work to the inside point. All right. If Ty takes this run through and he doesn't make the play, the ball can bounce. Zach can keep scraping and show up in the B gap. If the ball cuts back, Zach can buy himself back without having to do a bunch of math equations and tell our guys, hey, in the odd front, we're doing this. In the even front, we're doing this. When we wreck the front, we're doing this. We just keep it really simple, right? Same thing with all of our blitzes and our pressures as far as how we train our guys with their fits. So this is a pretty good look. As you see, Ty takes this A gap run through, right? The backside backer here is hanging high. He's a real thick and square. He's in a great position to be able to play the rock back, and there he is to be able to play both. All right, and that's regardless of it. We put the guards in here ultimately at the end of the day so we could get guard pulls. So it was just a way for me as we got going through this, right, if guys are struggling seeing pulls and stuff like that, that we can throw our guard pulls in. All right, the biggest thing, and this is huge for guys who are going to see a bunch of power teams and gap scheme teams, is the inside point player has to tempo the tailback. So if that back is tight, we want to be tight. If the back is going to be wide, we can be wide with it. But as far as that tailback goes, we want to tempo that back. All right. We spill everything outside the tackle box with our inside linebackers. We lever everything inside the tackle box. All right. So I'll repeat that again. If this is the offensive tackle, this is the offensive tackle. Any flow outside, I'm spilling it. We have support players built into our defense, right? Anything inside. So if we're getting ISO, we want to lever the ball. We want to lever the ball back to each other. All right. So again, with the power scheme, same concept. The biggest thing on the inside point linebacker right here, this is a pretty good look at it, is I want to make sure I'm getting ready to use my hands so I can destruct blockers as guys are climbing to me. All right. You can do whatever gap scheme you want. You can run counters. You can run your split zones, et cetera, et cetera. So what we do is, generically speaking, we'll cover all the different types of runs as we introduce this drill. As we kind of go through spring practice and fall camp, we'll do the same thing. And then when we get in season, we'll get a lot more specific where here's the runs that we got to play good at, right? We got to handle the divide zone with a tight end off look, right? We got to handle ISO, or we got to handle gap scheme, or we got to handle, a counter scheme, where we got to handle speed option. Just trying to steal different reps and a teaching progression for our guys to see it. And this is a really good look here on the backside of the inside point, right? Again, I'm going to show up and hit the football. There's no place to go. Show up, spill the ball. On the backside of this, I'm going to tempo that tailback. So a lot of times teams are going to run the A-gap cutback right out of the power. We're still going to be a bonus hat with him. He can still come back over the top and play the ball. All right. And that's basically how we do it. And I got a lot of this clips and stuff as we kind of go through our cut-ups. I think I'm past my time already. But I guess, Sam, if there's any questions or anybody has questions about anything.
Yeah, let's see here. Is there any on there, Bobby?
Yeah, it says during the previous drill, what are both coaches watching specifically?
So what I watch, which with the previous drill, meaning the individual drill or the group drill stuff?
Let me ask.
Probably nobody really knows, right? So if we're doing the individual, I'm just concentrating on both of those inside backers. I know what the drill is going to be because I'm going to tell the manager what flow I want out of it. Sometimes I'm the tailback, but I'm going to concentrate on the footwork of the linebackers, and I'm just going to focus and emphasize the snot out of that. So what we've done is we've got rid of the cans because nobody can ever find 5 cans, right, garbage cans anymore. They're too damn expensive anyway, so most athletic departments don't want to buy them, and if you do buy them, all the janitors are taking them and using them for garbage cans across your facility. So we just use what we have there, a couple cones and some bodies, and then a couple guys that be guards is how we run it. And then I watch the hell out of and coach the hell out of these 2 guys as we progress through the drill. And then a lot of this other stuff was just team segments and groups inside 7-on-7 type stuff. All right.
Perfect.
Anything else?
Nope.
Anything else
on there?
Nope.
So I'm going to throw up my email address to make it as simple as we can. Well, I thought I was going to be able to do this quickly, just to help, just in case guys needed to get in touch with me, take a screenshot or something. And then that way we can rock and roll, and it should be right here as it comes up right here. So if everybody wants to take a shot of that, shoot me an email. If there's anything I can ever help you guys with, I really appreciate it. Obviously, typically this time of year would be getting ready to roll through there, do a little spring recruiting in the state of Wisconsin. Like I said, the state's been very good to us, and we continue to want it to be a good state for us with players. You guys do a fantastic job up there, and if there's anything we can do, you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out. And we're always wide open. Coach Back is a big believer. He's got a place up there in Cambridge off of Lake Ripley. So he thinks he's a part cheesehead. So everybody's welcome to come on down and spend some time and talk football with us. All right. So there you go.
Perfect. Thanks,
I'm
Coach.
going to stop sharing. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.